You just need to pick your class. I'm sorry that that took so long. That was a weird little glitch that we had there. But from Schoology, you can use PlayPosit. Now, I want to show you something super important. If you have this lovely little program here on your sidebar in Schoology, delete it. It does not work anymore. This is not how you will use Schoology. Use PlayPosit with Schoology. So if if you could please go ahead and delete it, we would appreciate it. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Actually, it's not even going to work. So there should be an X that shows up to get rid of it, but that is not right now. So I'm going to have to figure out how to delete that on mine as well. But go ahead, do not use this ever. Okay, this is not how you connect through Schoology with us. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. So from your materials page, you could create a folder, whatever you want to do here. So I'm just going to go into a folder that I've created. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and add my PlayPosit lesson. So what I do is I go to Add Materials, and I go down to Add File, Link External Tool, this message right here. And I'm going to click External Tool. And then I'm going to choose from my tool provider right here. Okay, I'm going to choose PlayPosit. Now, you might have a lot of things in your list. Just make sure you choose PlayPosit. And then I'm going to give it a name. Okay, I don't mess with any of this because this has been installed by your tech department, so you don't ever have to mess with the URL, consumer key, or shared secret. But you do need to enable grading. This is very important if you want this to connect to your gradebook. If you do not click this when you start the assignment, your PlayPosit lesson will not sync to Schoology because we don't have a path. We don't have anywhere to send it, send your grading information. So please be sure you always enable grading. In Schoology, you need to select a category and points. Please note that the category, the points, I apologize. Please note that the points are, they're automatically calculated once your score comes over from PlayPosit to Schoology. We just send a percentage. So you don't need to match a point value in PlayPosit. So if you have like 10 questions, but you want it to be worth 100 points, you don't have to make everything in PlayPosit worth 10 points. Just make it worth a value of what you want it to be. We send a percentage, like an 85%, and then whatever your point value, it calculates. Okay, so once you do that, if you have a multi-section class, it's really important that you select your sections that you want to link this to and select your due date for both, okay? And then click Submit. And what you'll see is it'll appear right here. And then what I need to do is click it. And this is going to open up PlayPosit directly inside of Schoology for you. So I'm actually going to click Enter PlayPosit, and it's going to open my PlayPosit account. Couple things I want to point out to you that will help you if you encounter any kind of confusion here. Once you're here and you see all the Schoology icons down the side here, this means this is the page that is linked to Schoology, okay? If PlayPosit opens another tab, that tab is not where it's linked to Schoology, so you always need to come back to the tab with the S, okay? I don't know if you can see it, if my little talking things there. So the S on the tab says this is linked to Schoology. Okay, so just always note that. If you don't see those S's down the side right there, you're not in the right place to set that bulb link to Schoology. Okay, so from this point, you can either set a link. You can set your assignment to something that you've already created. You could add a brand new bulb. You could go to the pre-made library to add something that's already been created, and you can copy. So let me show you that. If I go to pre-made, you'll see Cherry Creek District Media, and I can look and see what everybody's done in my district, and maybe I want to copy something that they've done and use that. And I just find something, and I can look at the rigor score to see if it has 4 stars. 4 stars is great. That just means there's lots of interactions, all different interaction types throughout the video. You can get a definition there. Now, this is a pretty small screen. If I want this to be bigger, Schoology makes it really easy, and I can just click full screen. And now all I see is PlayPosit. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just copy one of these into my account. I could preview it if I want, but I'm just going to go ahead and copy it. All right, I'm going to click copy. All right, so now what I'm going to do is go to my bulbs page. Okay, and there it is. I've just copied this lesson, and I could assign it if I wanted to. Okay, but before I do that, I'm going to show you how to add a new bulb. So I'm going to add a bulb, and you see I just opened up a new tab. So this is really important to note. You will see a PlayPosit logo on the side of this tab, and here's your Schoology logo. This Schoology tab is where you're going to come back to assign it. All right, so I'm going to click in here, and I could just find a video on YouTube or Vimeo, or if I already had a YouTube or Vimeo link, I could put it here. I could upload a video under 300 megabytes here. I could upload an MP3, or if I've already been in PlayPosit a lot and I've pulled in videos, if I go to my videos is any video I've already used with PlayPosit before, and it just gives you a list of things you've already done so that you don't have to find it again. All right, so I'm just gonna find something that I want to use here. Why not? Sounds good. This history teacher is going to talk about the skeletal system. All right, so I can click customize if I wanted to pull in YouTube captions. If there are captions available on YouTube, we can pull them in. If they are not available on YouTube, we cannot. However, if you wanted to, you could upload a caption file. And then you can also trim and crop the video if you wanted to. So for example, if I want to crop the end a little bit so I don't see the credits, I can. Okay. So I can just crop like that. I could also crop the beginning if I don't want to see the intro, whatever you want to do there, okay? And then I click done. And what I'm doing here is I've pulled this YouTube video into PlayPosit, but again, it's still a YouTube video. I'm not changing that YouTube video. I'm not editing that YouTube video. I'm just a layer on top of that video that I can add interactions to. If I wanted to, I could add another video clip here as well. You could add multiple video clips to one bulb and create a seamless storyline of an activity, which is super cool. I know you can't do that with Edpuzzle. So if you were trying to, find a 2-minute clip of a video here and another clip of a video here, another clip of video here, you could add all 3 clips and create one lesson. So now I'm ready to make my lesson. I'm ready to add my interactions. So I click play, and I can use this scrub bar to figure out where I am in the video. I can watch the whole video, whatever I want to do. When I'm ready, I just click add an interaction, and here's my list of interaction types. So that question that came into the chat a minute ago about the different types of interactions, and I see there's actually another one. Okay, yes, I will talk about outside of Schoology in just a minute as well. Okay, so you've got multiple choice, check all, fill in the blank. These are all auto-graded, and will go to your Schoology gradebook. Free response, you have to grade. That's like the question you did where you answered it. A poll is ungraded because there's no right answer. And discussion can add points, but again, you will have to grade that yourself inside of the gradebook. You also have an annotation like a reflective pause, which is if you saw on that lesson you did where I just had a guide like watch for what she's going to say here, or pay attention here. You could do that as well as you could also do a course objective or a bulb objective about what your students are going to learn. Web embed is what you did where you poked around that and you did that grit score. And then we also have templated interactions that are ready for you to make your own. So for example, let's say I want to do a place an order. This is a template. So this means you have to change everything to make it work for you. So you can just change this word here. And since this is about skeletons, I'm going to say, I don't even know. Leg bone. I am not a science teacher, right? So I can put whatever, femur. I think that's what that is, right? I could put kneecap, right? Any of the things that they talk about, and I could talk about the order. That doesn't make sense for this kind of video, but for example, if it's talking about something that you want to place in order, you could do that here. But that's just a template. All you need to do is fill it in to meet your needs. You could also do our vocabulary matching, which is just the same, or a functions table if you're a math teacher. This is a really cool way to teach a lesson and then have them do a problem where they have to give multiple answers. And again, you can change anything in here you want. This is just a guide to get you started, okay? And again, you can see the right answer can be changed. All of this can be changed. We just created a way to get you started there, okay? And when you're done with an interaction, you just press done. So if I wanted to go back here and add, a multiple choice question, for example, I just click multiple choice. I type my question. I type my answers. I choose my right answer. And then I can choose advanced options like I want them to have more than one attempt, and then it tells you how many attempts you can have. Or I want them to be able to rewind. okay? I can also add feedback. So if they get it right, you could say, yay, you got it right. Or if they get it incorrect, you could add feedback for this answer saying, nope, remember when we talked about blank in class? Or you could choose to jump them to see, why, to go back and watch what they watched previously so that they could try again. So actually I'm going to set this one. I was only at 14 seconds in. Well, if I jump them, they're going to have to start further closer than 14 seconds. It'll jump them back to the beginning, okay? And this is just a bar that tells you where you want to jump, okay? So I'm going to click done. It didn't like my interaction, so. Okay, that's how you'll do it. If you wanted to add a template, a full bulb template, you just have to open the template gallery. Lots of options for you here to add. They're ready to go. So for example, if I just want to check for understanding, I'm going to click apply here. And voila, in just a second, I have a template added. So it added a question to activate prior knowledge. It's doing a midway checkpoint, and then it added interactions at the end. And you can go in here and change them any way you want. You can see anytime I put my cursor down and play pause it, I have this amazing rich text editor. So I could even add audio. Explain what you have learned from this lesson. Provide examples and evidence of your understanding. Okay, and then I upload it. And then there I've added audio to my interaction. For free responses as well, students can respond with their audio. So that's really a cool thing to do as well. You could also add an image. Here's our equation editor. This is a full equation editor with LaTeX. And then you can also bold, underline, make lists. You can add a table yourself. You can insert source code. You can do whatever you want, right, with that rich text editor. It makes it really, really cool. So when you're done, you just click done. And that's what you do when you're adding interactions. So you go throughout the bulb and add the interactions that you want to add. And then when you're ready, you'll click save. One other thing I want to point out is in the video, sometimes you want to get the perfect timestamp. So when you're watching the video and listening to it and you want that pause point, you can just click. I don't know if you saw that I clicked it and it copied that exact time down to the millisecond. And so what that does is then I can take that timestamp down to the millisecond. And for example, I could change, this interaction. If I go to the time, I could actually paste that exact timestamp if I'm really trying to get it at exactly the point that I want it, and I press done. So it just copied a timestamp. Let me show you that again once this saves. So you're in the Play Pause It Designer, the video is playing, and I just can click the timestamp and it copies that to the millisecond. All right. Okay. Oh, I see some chats coming in, so let me make sure I answer those now. Yes, you can add a Bitmoji. Kimberly, yay, fun for your students. I do that all the time. I think it's really fun. So let me show you. It doesn't like that interaction. Sorry, it's pouring rain here and my internet is just a mess. So I apologize. Everything is very slow. Let me show you how you would do that. So I'm going to add an intro to my course. I'm not going to ask them to do anything. I just want them to pay attention. Pay attention and do your best. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to go to my little Bitmoji. And I'm going to find something that's appropriate. Right, okay, I'll just do this one. I'm going to copy that image. Okay, I'm going to paste it here. And there it is. Okay, and then I have this here, and I just press save. And there's my Bitmoji that's going to start my students off. If it loads, there we go. And that's what your students will see. You could even put a GIF in if you want as well. That's absolutely easy to do. So anything you want to do it. Have fun with it. Have fun. That's what we want you to do with this tool. Okay, so when you're done, I'm going to click review. I can change my title if I want. Like if I don't really want it to say that, I can just change it. I could add a tag to organize it if I want. Like I could say biology, right? I can do whatever I want here. My playback options, do I want them to be able to rewind? If I want them to be able to rewind, I click that. Do I want them to be able to see the report? Sure. So that's all you can do here. And then I save my changes. Now, I can preview it so I can see what the learners will see. And I just click play. and I can watch it as a student, and you'll see there's my Bitmoji. Okay, just to show you, if I click this menu here, I'm a teacher, so I see it all. Your students won't see what they've done until they get there. But if you want them to take notes, that's where they take notes. And if they want the transcript, that's where they get the transcript. Okay, so that's the preview. This is also where the settings are. If you wanted to pull in those captions, we could. So now you can see those captions have been enabled, and now the transcript will work, and it's a live transcript. So wherever I click is where it's going to go. Okay, so I'm just going to X out of that preview and be back in my PlayPosit Designer here, and I'm going to click Save. Now, it tells me my bulb is saved. I need to close this tab and return to my LMS. So I closed it, and there you can see I am back on my Schoology tab here. I've got the S, and I see the S's down the line. So now I'm ready to set this back to Schoology. Okay, so I'm going to press my S, and I'm going to link it. I'm going to get out of full screen in Schoology just so you can see. It says my bulb has been linked. Now, I did it for section 1, right? You can see that it started with section 1. If I have 2 sections, I just need to make sure I go to section 2, and the gray screen is going to open again, and I need to set my bulb link. So I just go to the same one that I just assigned to the other section. I clicked on the S, I click link, and now they're both linked. So as long as you see this gray screen where it says monitor, preview, CSV download, and it says the name, you're good. If it says set bulb link, it means you haven't set the bulb link yet. So that's how you do that. Oh, the timestamp. I'm sorry, I missed that question. The timestamp, you mean when I was showing you the timestamp to copy it? Is that what you're asking about? Sorry, I'm in the chat, and there's a question about the timestamp. Once you answer, I'll follow up on that. Okay, so that's Schoology. If I wanted to, I just want to show you why this is so great to use in Schoology. So I'm going to go view as a student, and I just want to show you what your student sees. So they are going to go into that folder, and they're going to click on the lesson. And then here, you can see this is all they have to do, and press play. And now they're going to do this lesson. Okay, it's right there for them. And what's really great about that is there's no login. You don't have to pull a roster in. It's doing it from Schoology. And when they complete it, it's going to go right back to your Schoology gradebook. So super, super easy to do through Schoology. Now, I do recognize that some of you do not use Schoology, and that's fine. You will have another workflow, and I can go over that now. But I want to first just make sure there's no other questions about using PlayPosit in Schoology. So if you do not use Schoology, what you will do is log into PlayPosit through whatever format you do, whether it's Google or Office 365 or Clever. I don't know how you log in, but when you do that, let me just show you. You would click Login, and you'd find however you logged in, okay? And you could click on that and do it. I just have my password saved here, so I just log in here. And when you're not signed in through Schoology, there's a lot of different things that you need to do because you don't have that LTI integration. You're not connected to your class roster. You're not connected to your class gradebook. So through PlayPosit is how you're going to have to assign everything. Now, you can connect to Google Classroom, but it's not a two-way sync. It's just a one-way roster sync that'll pull your Google Classroom roster in, and after you do that once, that's the only thing it links to. So it doesn't send grades back to a grade book or anything, but it does allow you to add your roster, and you would do that in your profile. So if you do it through Google Classroom, your classes will appear under classes, and they'll have a little Google Classroom chalkboard, and you'll know that you pulled them in. If you don't use Google Classroom, you can just create new classes, okay? And again, this is to do not through Schoology. So if you use Schoology, do not do this because Schoology is absolutely the preferred method. It's so much easier. But you could create a new class just by giving it a name, okay? And then once you create all of your bulbs from PlayPosit, you can assign them to classes in PlayPosit. So whatever class you created, I've got this Cherry Creek class. I've already assigned this, but you just pick a due date, okay, to the right class. So if I want to assign this to 3rd grade, I just click a due date, Okay, and press OK. And now I've assigned it. You can see third grade now has a link. And then I would post this link in my Google Classroom or wherever else I'm posting. Again, I cannot stress enough though, this is not how you do it with Schoology. And in fact, if you access PlayPosit through Schoology, it's actually disabled to assign this way because we don't want you to get confused, okay? So it's absolutely possible to assign and use playposit.com to assign your lessons, but students will have to log in and you will have to do everything through playposit.com rather than through Schoology, okay? I'm gonna open up my chat now. Ooh, we've got lots of questions. Yeah, so the timestamp, I think Ray answered this. It's just the way to make sure that your interaction's appearing at exactly the right time in the video. Yes, so if you use PlayPosit outside of Schoology, then you can have your students, you would have them join your class and then they have to log in. And the way that that would work for them is essentially when you create a class. So if I go to this Cherry Creek class and I go to learners and I go to add learners, I can invite them with this URL and it will invite them to join the class. And then when they log in to PlayPosit, they'll just have to log in using, we recommend using single sign-on like Google or Office 365 or Clever, however you have that set up. As long as they join the class with this class link, it's fine, this class URL. So it's pretty easy to do, but again, Schoology is always the preferred method just because it does it through LTI integration and it's a lot easier. I will send you all information on how to do this method as well. Kimberly, we do not recommend posting the link to Schoology. The connection seems to be based off the added value of connection to the gradebook, but I don't push grades from Schoology to the gradebook, so it seems a bit easier. Okay, so Kimberly, maybe we ought to find another time to chat later. If you want to send me an email, my email is, again, laura@playposit.com. I just want to make sure you have the best workflow so that you have the least confusion. So posting a link in Schoology, is, if you really wanted to do that, is okay, except you are then requiring your students to go outside of Schoology to take the lesson rather than having the ability to just click play. It's so much easier for them to just play it right inside of Schoology, okay? So something to think about there. But Kimberly, if you could just send me an email, we could set up a time to chat so I could help you further. So you cannot add PlayPosits to Google Drive. Again, this is a platform, and so you can either again, use this through Schoology, or you can post the assign link that I showed you a minute ago. You can post that to Google Classroom or a class page. You can embed it, but again, we don't connect to Google Drive. So again, think of us as a platform. Okay. Anytime you want to add video to your students, if you want to share a video with them, if you want them to watch something, remember that it can be interactive, okay? And again, it doesn't have to be as many like silly questions that I asked you, right? It could be as simple as, like, this is an example, okay? So let's just preview this one. And then I know we're short on time, but I just want to be able to show you. This is how to write an argumentative essay, okay? I know you can't hear it, but let me just show you. Right, so they're watching this and then the interaction is going to pop out and they need to put in the order of what they need to do, right? Should probably, anyway. And then you can see that this is all, again, students can't click ahead. I'm a teacher, so I can. But anything that you want to do would make this an interactive experience for your students. That's just another example of a bulb that you could do. If you wanted to, I'm just trying to think, like there's all sorts of things that you can do here. Any video works. Anytime you want to make something interactive, I would encourage you to use that with PlayPosit. Kimberly, there is not a drawing feature in PlayPosit as of yet. You know, what we encourage you to do is to make your video and use a drawing feature externally and then put the video into PlayPosit. Annie, that's a great question. Absolutely. You could absolutely share content. So let me show you how you would do that. That's a great question. Thanks for bringing it up. From your PlayPosit page, so I'm just going to imagine you went in through Schoology, you're on your PlayPosit page, okay? For any bulb, you can go in and click the 3 dots, and you can click share. In a couple of weeks, it's actually going to say collaborate. We just like the word collaborate better, so it's going to say collaborate. But you click share, and then you click view owners, and now you can add anybody within your organization to join. Sorry, not to join. You can add anybody from your organization, Google Docs style, to share access with. Okay, and you can either have it be edit access so that they can change the bulb, or view and assign is just like in Google Drive. If you want to share something as view only, you could do that there, and it'll show up on their My Bulbs page, and then they could assign it through Schoology. So it's really awesome to be able to share content that way. If you wanted to share the bulb you created, but you want the person to make their own copy so that they can edit it, you'll just click share and then copy this preview link to send to a teacher, and you'll see it says share in the middle of it. Something super important, never, ever, ever share this link with a student, okay? If students click on this, they cannot access PlayPosit and complete the bulb. No data is collected or saved either. So if you accidentally shared this link, there's no way for us to find the answers that they responded to. So try not to make that error and use this link with a student, okay? And again, everything would be saved in your My Bulbs account, and you can assign it through Schoology. You can, do whatever works for you. And again, so then every time you'll go back to your page in your class, you'll find the right place, if it's in a folder or not, and you just click, in a strange area here. Let me go back to my course. Oh, I'm a student. I'm like, why can't I do anything? I'm still viewing as a student. Sorry about that, guys. So now I'm not a student. I can just click add materials, and I'll go do this one more time. Add file, link external tool, PlayPosit. Okay. Enable grading, classwork, all sections, due date, submit. And then I'm going to find it, which is at the bottom, click it, and then it will load, and I will enter PlayPosit to add my lesson, okay? So then I would just set my bulb link or go in and create. All right, that was a lot of information. It is now 11 o'clock in the morning, Denver time. And I so appreciate you listening to me today. If you want to stay on and ask questions, I'm totally fine with that as well. Oh, Annie, I love your idea of a PLC team using this. So I would love to explore that with you, Annie. If you want to send me an email to laura@playposit.org, we have a brand new way that you could use PlayPosit for PLCs as well. So that would be really cool to talk to you about that. And then Kimberly asked, what if I choose ungraded? If you choose ungraded, it will not make a space in the gradebook. So it's totally up to you if you want to do it that way. If you want to still use Schoology and just have it be ungraded, you could absolutely do that. It just won't create that link for us to add a score to the Schoology gradebook. Any other questions? Go ahead and put them in the chat. Happy to answer them. I can stay on a few more minutes and just ask away. Oh, and yes, Michelle, great. Yeah. Please, somebody email me about the PLCs, and I'll get back to you. We could set up a separate meeting about that. Any other questions that I can answer today? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my email address up for you again. So again, my name is Laura. My email address is laura@playposit.org. I am going to send you all resources as well as this recording at the end of today. But let me know if you have any